My involvement with Yoncalla Early Works is I was the principal at the elementary school. We were struggling with our third grade test scores. And one of the things that we found was that kids coming into kindergarten were not prepared. And so at that point, I was on a mission to try and figure out what to do about that when I met someone. Christy Cox with the Ford Family Foundation was my neighbor. And it was just this perfect timing of events. And we canned some tomatoes together out in the garden and got to work.
When I first found out about the Early Works project, um, it was as a partner, and my role was to kind of advocate or be the voice for families that maybe had complexities or had multiple barriers to engaging with the school. And I think sometimes school districts lose sight of the families that they're serving. And so initially, I felt like it was an opportunity to ensure that the school district had the opportunity to see families clearly and children clearly, not only some of the barriers that they may have had in engaging with the school, but also some of their infinite strength and potential. I always think back to that moment when you first have a baby and everything is so hopeful, right? And I feel like, regardless, it kind of transcends socioeconomic status, it transcends many, many things. And there's always something about new babies and young children that feels really, really hopeful. And so it's always been this opportunity to really capitalize on that hope that families feel for their child. Whether it's, I hope that my kids have the same opportunities or the same upbringing or the same sense of community that I grew up in, or I hope that my child has different opportunities or stronger support than I had as a child. And so I think, like, how do we find that like special spot where parents are hopeful, children are new and fresh and ready to succeed?
Probably the most unique, I think, is that they were willing to go slow and take their time and gather information from multiple sources and very community focused, not just certain people in the community, not just the ones we see easily, but from every aspect that they can get and do little pieces. They put in the work and they put in the time. And like that slow and steady wins the race and building that momentum because you had to do it to ease everybody into it and to build trust. We unified under this banner of early works. We're able to head towards, oh, this is our direction and this is what we're wanting, and allow it to take shape and morph over time for what's needed.
Yeah, I just can't say enough for the Early Works program. I can't express my gratitude for it. It has completely changed the dynamic of our family. We came in as kind of one of those families that like experience poverty and experience trauma, and coming into the Early Works program, I was ready to be defensive about those things. And I was ready to have my guard up and stay protected and not let my child have to experience that. She was able to let that guard down. And the teachers were just so like scooped her right up, and they just gave her this family and this security and this safety that we had never experienced before.
And I personally learned so much from the Children's Institute on how to make change and how to go about making change in a community. And it's certainly not about what you think's best for them. And so we went on a mission to get the community more involved in the school, getting parents more involved in the school, and what they want, what they need, and that's when things started to work. As long as we were implementing and instituting things that we thought were best for the community, it wasn't going anywhere, you know. So really that was big. And then once the parents got involved, it was, you know, and I think still it's something that educators, you know, have to work hard to um, accept the fact that parents are what drive what we do. It's really hard to accept that it used to be that we're the professionals and, you know, just give us your kids and we'll do what's right. But that's not the way it works here now. And I had to learn that.
Oftentimes people come to Yoncalla and they think, you know, that we've had 10 years of just this incredible growth. And it's like, yes, we've grown, but it's also been like a really hard 10 years. When I get to leave the role or leave the community and go out and share some of the incredible things that have happened, or when I see families that are speaking their truth with pride, I I'm able to recognize, you know, that we're kind of a big deal. Like, and so that's kind of become our hashtag, is like Yoncalla is kind of a big deal, and that the work that's happening is really, really meaningful, and and has the potential to change the way we think about families and school and community, and even is helping to redefine success in some ways and looking at it differently. Changes can be really hard, and I want other communities to know that when it gets hard, you have to lean in and you have to continue to lead with your heart